One of the quotes that encouraged me so much, you talked about that the struggles that you go today, they are the ones that shape the person that you become in the future. And I tend to agree with you on that perspective. But could you probably share the greatest obstacles maybe that you went through, especially managing from the different, maybe I can call them departments, from the finance, automobile, health. How did you manage to bring everything together to see the success that you're celebrating today? And also, maybe could there be like any other businesses that maybe you had started and then they flopped, and then maybe you shifted the focus, and then you began maybe you majored on those that were successful?
Yes. So that's a very, very good question. And I'm a firm believer. It is only when you fall 10 times, the 11th time you stand up being stronger than before. In my journey of becoming a successful entrepreneur, I have fallen down more than 10 times. But every time I've got up stronger than ever before. In my 4th year in business, I still very, very, very vividly remember the tears that I had in my eyes and the 2 nights that I cried continuously when whatever little money that I had, I invested into stock for my business and I put it in a warehouse. And on one Saturday night, that warehouse caught fire. I didn't have insurance. And all of a sudden, the vision, the dreams that I had were all gone up in smoke. You can only imagine I was at the lowest level of my life, having been up there and falling down, and how to begin again. Nevertheless, as I mentioned, through sheer determination, you stand up stronger and start rebuilding yourself. And over my journey, it's not been rosy all the way through. There have been very many various factors, and we have had many, many low points in our business that have really brought us down. But every time, we have been more determined than ever before to succeed. Again, not all businesses turn to be fruition. What is important, and the lesson that I've learned, is that very early in a new startup or in a new business, if you find that your business is not working, call it a day, get over it, and go for something else. I've started very many new businesses in the earlier part of our career. Like everybody else, we also had a dream. We also wanted to make it quick. But at that point in time, we also realized that many of the business ventures that we started were not kind of making money. They were making losses. Just to share an example with you, we got an agency to sell sweets, chocolates, and confectionery from a South African company. And we thought that that was a beautiful business and will make lots of money. We invested a little bit of our money that we had made in our parent business into starting that business. Little did we realize that the market at that time, 35 years ago in Kenya, was Cadbury's. A lot of people thought that Cadbury was the best chocolate, and the sweets that we made here and the lollipops that we made here were the best. And again, from a price perspective, whatever we brought from South Africa did not appeal to whatever we make here. And we realized that very early in the business, and we cut our losses and shut down that business. At the same time, we thought that why don't we look at wines and spirits? It's not our cup of tea. It doesn't resonate with the tire business. But yet, my brother says that why don't we try it out and see whether it works. The same thing happened. It didn't work for us, and we shut it down. Now, these are classical cases where the business did not work from our favor. But I'll give you another case. We went into the automobile business, and at that point in time, we were very fortunate that we had the agency for cars from Korea, a car called Daewoo. I don't know how many of you remember the Daewoo cars at that time. And we were very famous. We brought in the Daewoo cars from Kenya. We set up our service workshop. We set up a whole network around the country. We were extremely successful in marketing The Daewoo cars here in Kenya, people were very happy with the product, with the service, with whatever we offered. We ran that business for 10 years successfully, and we thought that this business would never end one day. Would never end, and it would still keep on running as a family business. Little did we know that the parent company in Korea would be bought over by the giant General Motors from the United States of America, and hence the business that took us 10 years to build and take it to another level crashed overnight. General Motors bought over Daewoo. They changed the names. They had an agency here, and they started assembling the same Daewoo cars with a different brand name here at the Kenyan assembly plant, and hence we had to close down the automobile business after making it successful, after putting in a lot of sweat, and all of a sudden one day it was gone. So these are just some examples of how a journey is like the waves in the sea.